Hey, it's Trojan, and it's time to answer questions. Our first one comes from Kuja. He asks, when playing higher ranks, movement, Korean backdash, optimal spacing, etc. Obviously, it's more of a factor, so how do you prefer to close the gap when pokes or playing neutral? So, I would like to say I prefer to take my time. However, this isn't always what I end up doing. Without my head on right, if ever I get really frazzled in the match, I end up chasing the opponent. You never really want to do that because, well, it's okay to chase the opponent, but you want to be careful because when you're dealing with people who are aware of Lily's ranges, they like to backdash and sidestep because they know once Lily gets in, it's a losing game, or at least that's what I think they're thinking. They're scared of Root of Evil or losing control of the match or what's going on. So I prefer to slowly approach or slow it down. Chasing people down can get you hit with a rage art, and trying to close in space with moves can be risky because it can get you floated or counter hit. Often though, if you like dash up and try and do a move while they're still moving backwards, it can make you whiff. Great question. Our next question comes from Justice. Or, not really a question. Homie just needs to know how to sidestep mix-up properly. And I clarified, Justice means, the timing with sidestep, how do you really implement it? When it comes to sidestepping, truly, if you sidestep all the time, they're either going to freeze or they're going to try and stop you from sidestepping. So if they try and stop you from sidestepping, that's when you want to either retaliate and stop sidestepping, or you want to sidestep even more. It really depends on what move they try and stop you from sidestepping with. Like if they just want to do a quick move that kind of tracks that direction, maybe sidestep the other direction or hold off there to kind of see what you can do there. Because if you sidestep all the time, they'll kind of come to expect you to do it, but if you don't sidestep enough, you'll be missing out. So try and gamble with it. If you know they're going to press here, you want to sidestep here. If you think they're not going to press, you keep applying pressure so that way you can make them frustrated. One of our local Eddie players wants to know. So he's been playing me for quite some time now, since 2019 through 2020, and he says he's got a grasp on what I do and what not to do against me, and he wants to know, do I write down my opponent's tendencies, or do I, kind of freestyle based on how I measure the opponent? Homie has a lot of questions, so I'm kind of going to answer this one first and I'll come back to the other two. But so I want to say I do attempt to remember certain character tendencies and scenarios whenever I'm playing. Like how do these characters close distance and how can I deal with it? With him or with Eddie players specifically, I know certain scenarios I can do something like jump over a certain mix-up to help deal with things, but remembering all player tendencies can be a bit much for me. My memory kind of escapes me at times and stuff like that, so I really do just kind of play with my heart and just play with what I'm used to. I kind of go with the flow. His next question is, what is my thought process when I'm in a losing situation, and what gives me the tenacity when the chips are down? My thought process gives me my tenacity. Long story short, I believe in miracles, comebacks, and I believe in myself, which is really important. I believe I'm capable of all things imaginable, and that as long as I keep trying, I can win. I say often, if I want to win, there's nothing anyone can do. With that being said, I do get distracted very easily. Next question comes from CEA. He wants to know what the best outfit is for Lily. And the best outfit for Lily is any outfit that I have Lily in. My favorite default is Tekken 7 Player 2. My favorite preset is Devil Lily, or this Platinum Lily, or Lily in the maid outfit. My favorite customs, I like Lily with chaps. I like Tekken 6 Lily with her Player 2 skirt. It fits very well with a lot of her customizations and her crop tops in that game. I love anything that looks like Lily just came from Hot Topic or Spencer's and she's going to like some rock concert or something. Lily and Sebastian for that matter. If they look punk or look really edgy, I'm into it. Yes, he asks, how do you beat Lily? Doesn't get simpler than that. That's a good question, and everyone wants to know. The easiest way to beat Lily is to not engage with Lily. Lily plays very good anti-Tekken, and if you don't play with her, it makes things so much harder. We can't crush anything or do anything that we want to do without someone that's like trying to like actively engage with us. So spacing is very effective. Quick homing mids is really good, and also patience. If you take away our options little by little and play your game, you're golden until we power up. Lively Rain wants to know, how does Lily stop pressure? Other than sidestepping and movement wise, is there any moves you would use to make your opponent stop pressing? Great question. And so Lily can stop pressure with parry, because it parries really fast. I like using down 4 and jabs. To be honest, like any of Lily's moves, like from 10 to 14, aren't bad to just throw out there if you know there's like a gap to like check the opponent. Even down forward 4-4, I love that move so much. You don't get to use it too often because because it's 15, you may not squeeze it in there fast enough, but I like it a lot for like checking, like especially if the opponent does something I know is negative on block and I know they're pressing. I like to throw that out there. It's really good for checking. You can kind of hit confirm it as well too. Those are kind of moves I like to do, but to be completely honest, doing nothing and waiting for that perfect moment is great for Lily. We're down to our last 2 questions, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for checking out this video and listening to me answer questions. Cream de la Nyanya, they ask, do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, waiting to start again? Because that's how I feel with playing her in ranked, not gonna lie. And yo, I'm right there with you. Sometimes in ranked, if I'm not feeling it, it truly feels like a grind. I'm so salty, but hey, you just gotta remember that, baby, you are a firework. I used to have a 3-match rule, so like after I lose 3, I would take a break and do something else. So you just gotta check yourself. Don't be out there struggling for too long. So Durag asked, he says, why is she the worst character in the cast? Wait, that's Chloe, ignore that. So, homie's throwing sludge at Chloe. I don't think either of them are bad, truly, because I play Lily, of course, and I'm kind of biased. But I really think that like if you don't take the time to appreciate Chloe for what she has to offer, you won't realize how cool she is. And like this orange and blue custom that she has, it's too cold. Lily's the best, but this is nice too.